this is a nice little simple basic design that you can easily reproduce and have a lot of fun with it. And then we're going to kind of soup it up just a little bit. You already love the roses. I love that you're saying that. These are some new roses that we got in, and they're just beautiful, simple sprays, but they kind of got that cabbage rose feel. They haven't, I think they're called Austin roses, but ooh, yes, I knew they'd be named after some Texas town, right? You know, Texas dominates. We can't help it. We can't help it. We love y'all all, though, because we got to say y'all and everything. So the first thing I'm going to do to get started is we're going to grab our greenery, get a couple of nice, long, beautiful pieces of greenery in. And I'm going to cut out a couple of the longest pieces out of this bush. This is our Real Touch greenery. If you've never worked with it, it's pretty cool because it actually feels real and almost wet, especially in colder weather. Okay, Anna, you want the supply list? No problem. Yes, you guys ask in the comments. That's no problem to ask for the supply list, especially if you're watching on the replay. If you're on the text list, you know you're going to get it texted out either today or tomorrow, depending on how late it is when we get it finished. Okay, I got 2 of the longer sprays. Now, one of the deals is in a Simple Saturday video, I have to keep the project under 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try. But sometimes simple goes into, what is this, a little bit more, right? Oh my goodness, you got to do a little bit more. Now, it depends how far you want things to hang down. I'm a big fan of trailing vine and really letting it flow. So we're going to build it kind of where you're going to see it kind of flow off the table. But that's because that's fun. That's because that's fun. So when I'm getting ready to dip these guys in the glue, I got to pull this back and hold it out of my way, because we don't want glue just totally trailing all into everything. So I'm going to give it a dip in my glue pot, and then I'll just put it at a little bit of an angle and push it in. Now I'm not pushing it down through the grapevine. I'm pushing it in, okay? We don't need it shooting out. Hey, Nancy. Oh, Nancy, I saw those beautiful things that you were, oh gosh, they sound adorable. Hey, Carol Ann. Debbie's getting the supply list too. Yes, ma'am. Debbie, we will have it for you in just a little bit. Now, I'm going to take a couple of pieces, and if you're watching over on YouTube too, please ask questions. We will get you answers to your questions, or I'll come back and answer them. I'm here to help, okay? I'm going to take this piece. I got some glue in there. I'm just going to slide it in and have it kind of come across the top. So I'm just putting one down, one up, going back and forth. And I do realize if you're watching over on TikTok, you can't see the whole project, but I assure you it's looking beautiful from the top. So you can come pop over to our YouTube or our Facebook to see the project from the top. Hey, Vanessa. Okay, I'm going to take another piece and go slide off to the side here. Let that just trail down too. And I'm trying to create like a little flow going on. Now, if you are a ribbon person and you are just like, girl, I got to have ribbon in everything I make, or I'm just not living my best life, then you need to leave a spot for ribbon. We're not using ribbon today in this design. It's all floral because that's my thing. I love. So I'm going to push my design tighter. You leave a hole for your bow, okay? So when you're doing placement, don't put it quite as tight so you don't waste supplies behind the bow. Makes sense? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Definitely. Give me a thumbs up. Or let me know it makes sense in the comments. So I know you're following. Okay, and let's put another one right here at the top. And just have these come right back in front. Ooh! Okay. Nicole says she is going to be texting the supply list out here shortly. Absolutely. Coming out. Yep. Go to textkele.com and we will do it. So you see me popping in the moss, and the moss is covering my glue. So I know that no matter where my customer is going to see the wreath, from what angle, that's all going to be covered. That's really important to me on my design. Now, before we get into much more, let's get some of our wispy greenery. And so far we've had a long greenery, and now we're bringing in a different texture. And this one is a nice, oh, it's just, I don't know what this one is called. But look at the texture on it. It's almost kind of cedarish, but not. It's got a name and I forgot it. So let's take a couple pieces of this. I'm going to cut 1 and 2. And let's cut 2 of the longer pieces also. So I took 2 of the shorter pieces and 2 of the longer. Now this bush is not a pusher, but it's nice and full all the way. And I can break it up if I want to also. So let's trim those off. 2 and 2. And hey, Darla, good to see you. Kim, yeah, I think this design would work well with any flower you want. It absolutely will. This is a basic design. It is Simple Saturday, so we're not overdoing it too much. It's a basic design that you can substitute any flowers. And the reason I'm keeping it pretty basic for Valentine is because it's nice to have a lower priced item, either if you're selling in your Etsy store or if you are making it for yourself and you just want a little project for Valentine. You don't want a big investment. Or this one looks really nice after the holidays too, because it still has some of that red in. Let's say you have some poinsettias still out and they're still living. This will tie in well with that also. Oh, it's sorghum. Okay, I knew it was. I was going to call it heather, but I was like, it's not really a heather. I know. We need to know the names. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Hey, girl, thanks for coming and hanging out with us before bedtime. So I got some questions over in TikTok, guys. I'm answering. Let's see you guys over here. Yes, it's the green sorghum bush. The ivy, we're going to have it all text out to you in the text list. So if you just go to textclee.com, you will get the text list no matter where you're watching, okay? That's going to be the easiest way to do that. Now, I'm just staggering these. I got a couple at the top. Let me bring that down a little bit, guys. These 2 here at the top, okay? And then I'm going to put 2 at the bottom. All right. I'm glad that's helping. Hello, Miss Anderson. Okay, I'm going to put that up here. And once again, I'm going to cover it with the moss, the glue. And I'll just lose a little bit. A little bit. Okay, yeah, if you wanted to use lilacs or any kind of floral would work for sure. All right, I'm going to use the new rose sprays. Now, you guys are going to have to check out the website when you're on there shopping later because we have these in lots of colors besides red. They are gorgeous. You're going to see me using them a lot. And I'm going to trim this down probably to about 4 inches right here, and we'll trim that stem down. And I have to shake hands. Now, if you're in design school, you hear me say this all the time. I booted off my sign. The sign has got the boot. You have to shake hands. And what I mean by that is you are actually giving each piece of the stem its own space in the design. So when you get things, they look like this. They're all tight. That won't work. You've got to take time. You've got to flip leaves forward. You've got to space them out. These are all wired, so you want to make sure they're moving in whatever direction you want them to go. You guys, let me show them on TikTok what we got going on. You guys see here? Okay. Oh, y'all, I love the trailing. I love the trailing. Okay. So, I know this design's a little big for the table, but we're making it work. All right. I'm going to come in. I want this to just kind of trail, come to the inside of all the beautiful greenery we've already put in. So, it's kind of running to the inside. Okay, this is the neat thing about getting florals from Keleas.com is it doesn't matter really your level of experience or skill. They're going to make you look better than the average floral that you just buy at the big box store because they're pretty already. You know? I know, I love that too. It is so fun. It's so pretty. Oh, you like the view over on TikTok. I know. The colors are good. The colors are good over there. It just is amazing how different things stream different ways. So I'm going to put a second stem up here at the top. So I'm going to take and do the same thing. I'm giving everybody space. And we're utilizing the wires that come in these stems. And we are maximizing that by, you see how I'm spreading them out? And if you notice, this is a triangle. That's super important in design. So we use that a lot. And either we create it or we use a stem that already has it. So this type of thing is just right up our alley, because that's what we need as floral designers. We need to be using design principles in our design all the time and not booting Keleas.com off the table. Easier said than done sometimes. Okay, let's come up here. Oh, thanks for the follow over on TikTok. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for the stars and the likes over here on Facebook. You guys are so good to us. All right, I'm giving it a swirl. And I'm going to come down and overlap these in just a hair here. Oh, look at it. Bunch of glue. That's okay. Don't worry about your glue. Sorry, guys. I normally design on the stand, so when I'm designing on the table, it's a little bit different for me. And I'm designing facing you guys. I mean, I could do it, but it's a challenge. But I'm up for the challenge. So you see, I've placed it all in, and I've worked on the spacing as well. And I like these to just kind of have their own line here. All right, now let me go in the center with a little bit of moss, because I had a lot of green glue down here we got to cover. Because I don't want those sassy glue showing up. No, no, no. No, no, no. Now, I'm going to pull the tulips off for a second so we can take a look at this. Now, you can see here our design is starting to come together. We start on the outside, we're starting to work towards the center. So now what we want to do next is I want to add some more of this wispy greenery towards the center. Okay? And that's this one. That's the sorghum. So pretty. So pretty. Y'all, I'm a greenery freak, so you might hear me say something's juicy or that I love it and it's greenery. I get all excited. So I'm just going to trim all the rest of that bush off. And let's get in here and get some of these smaller pieces. And I want to use those around the center to kind of frame out my center a little bit more. Now, remember I talked earlier about that bow? That's right where the bow would go, right in here. Danae loves roses. Oh, girl. I don't blame you. These are so pretty. They just have this good length in them where they're coming out. And I'm going to go just right beside it over here. And we're just kind of filling in the center. We're going to have more ivy, of the Real Touch ivy coming in also. But I'm going to get these in first. And in design school, I'm always teaching about depth and dimension. And we're starting to add a little bit of that right now. We're giving these a bit of a movement up. Melina, yes, all our greenery is plastic. Yes, ma'am. Everything you see here is plastic. I love plastic greeneries. I use a ton of them. I do. The difference between our plastic greeneries and a lot of others is I choose the ones that have great painting to make them look really real. And the shading and the colorations give you the look of new growth. That's why I love this one. Look at this light green on here. Oh my gosh. Love, I love, love, love. Okay, now we're coming back in with the ivy. And this is our Real Touch ivy. So this is the one that feels real, which is always super cool. But it's more of a premium product. So it's a little bit fancier. But we don't need a lot of it. We really don't need a ton. So I'm taking this and spreading them out. And then I'm going to trim this down. Susie says Real Touch ivy's amazing. Yes, you guys, y'all loved it so much last year. We now are carrying it in every pattern, every variegation they carry. You guys over here on TikTok, oh my gosh. It's Real Touch ivy, so it really looks wet and real, like you would see out in the garden. Now, y'all, if you don't know, we're streaming on TikTok. We're also streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So you can come watch us anywhere. It's Keleas.com on TikTok. Keleas on YouTube and Facebook. Keleas. All right, coming down. And I'm going to take and put this piece coming right out of the center. And look at that beautiful movement it has. Yes. So I'm taking these little pieces like here and I'm kind of giving them a hump. You know, Teresa, thank you so much. She's saying it's looking beautiful. I'm glad you like it. This is our Simple Saturday project this week. And we're just trying to make it easy and really use beautiful florals and let them kind of be the star of the show here. Right? Hello, Trudy. Hello, Brandy. Oh, I see Lori's over on TikTok. Hello. Okay. Oop. My first glue string. I was batting 1,000, then there came one. I hate glue strings. No. So these other little pieces are made to go kind of straight up. So we'll use those in and around. But I want to make sure I've got the center filled in really beautifully and simply. Now, this is a basic design, really easy. We use 2 floral sprays, 1 greenery bush, and 1 trailing ivy greenery, the real touch here. But if you want to take it and make it a little more pizzazzy, and you want to just add more pops of color, that's where we're going to bring those tulips in. You need some of it. You need some of the real touch ivies. I get it, Susie. I get it. All right. So these are. Look at these. Hey, Nicole. There's some spam on the feed, please, if you don't mind grabbing it on Facebook. So if you're watching over on TikTok and you try to spam us anywhere on any of our platforms, we'll get you. Because I got a team. Okay, the cool thing about these, you can just pull them off here if you don't need the length, okay? And I love that they've designed them this way now. You just can pull them off. And you get the beautiful leaves on, these have foam leaves on these beautiful larger headed tulips. They look gorgeous, and we're going to use those to lengthen the red in the design. So I've got 3 of each here put aside first. 2 of each to start with. And you notice I'm saving a little bit of greenery. Oh, you love the combo? Oh, yes, me too. So let's give this one a swirl, and let's do the top first here. Maybe a little bit back here. And pop that in. Okay, and you can see how that's adding that pop of red to the top and bringing the eye up. And we've kind of got a line working, so we want to keep the line on point. So just take and popped it and swirled it. Okay, good job. You're on it, girl. All right. And then I'm going to come up here and just go a little bit higher. So we're going to pop this towards the center. Oh, yeah. I love bringing that color through. Okay, those 2 are at the top, and those are at the bottom. Lori over on TikTok's asking, could you do the white tulips with the red roses? Yeah, you could do any color combination. You could use a variegated combo of colors. Yeah, I think it would be fun to do that too. Now let's go down. We've got our trailing. Oh, see how beautiful that's trailing at the bottom? Oh, So use the tulips to kind of hone in your shape. Karen says she loves real touch flowers and greenery. Me too. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. Okay, I'm going to pop this one on the outside. I'm going to come right over here and go in between the greenery, and I need a little moss on that one. Oh, I love putting these in. These are so fun. And you know what? What's pretty cool is their leaf on the tulip is adding a 3rd greenery to this. Yummy! All right, let's just push these down and then hold it like a pencil. So easy to use these tulips. And you get that real wow factor. We just got the tulips in several new colors. Once again, they've been such a great item. We added them in all the colors. Even a fun orange. I thought that would be so cute to put with bunnies. So stay tuned on the website. We'll have those on there. Okay. I like that rosebud kind of coming up. What are you thinking? Are you seeing it really good? That's so pretty. I kind of got it sideways here on the table so you can see the whole thing. That's so fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add the last 2 tulips, and I'm going to bring those back kind of into this section on both below and above. So let's pull these off. Darla, do we have moss back in stock? Not yet. Hopefully that won't be long, and the moss will be back in every color, hopefully. Oh, you're loving the flowers? Yay! Me too. Me too. They're so fun. Oh, Lori's loving all of it. Yeah, we're streaming on all the places tonight. We're all the places. We're trying. Yeah, on TikTok, we give you a behind-the-scenes view. So you're seeing me with no makeup and just, you know, real life over here. Y'all on Facebook are not having to deal with the no makeup face. Well, you know, Simple Saturdays are just a way to inspire you to play with some different florals maybe you haven't done and make a project really quickly and easy together. I mean, look at this. Look how gorgeous this is. Can you see it? How pretty it's coming together? Here's the side view of it. Are you kidding me? So definitely let that ivy hang down. How pretty is that? So, so pretty. And I was trying to give you a close view tonight so you could see exactly where we're putting the placement in on this. On Simple Saturday, I like you to be able to make the project from start to finish, you know? Oh my gosh, wow. Melinda, yeah, you're going to see everything jump in price. Keleas doesn't use a pick machine, so that'll save you some money. Come over to KeleasDesignSchool.com if you haven't already, because we don't use pick machines over here to save a step. I mean, you had to come over to TikTok to see me too. Yay! Y'all are great. I love you guys, Blue Merinos. So I'm taking the pieces of the greenery that are on the Real Touch ivy bush, and we're using them towards the top. So we're letting them come up forward. Remember, that's the bow zone. Should you be a bow girl and you want that bow in there, you can do it. You can do it, okay? All right, let's put a little bit more in here, and I'm just kind of coming around and filling in. And I want to recommend when you do it, you make sure it's hanging because you don't want your customer to get it on their door when they get home and there'd be like a bald spot from one corner when they're walking in the door. Double check all that and fill it in. Design school students know I'm gonna do that at the end. I'm gonna take a look on it. Hey Julia, good to see you. Hey, y'all want to come over here for the no makeup, right? Say, oh Lord, how rough does she look? You're getting a live Simple Saturday, Kim. Yeah, it's not recorded. Y'all, the reason I usually do recorded is because we're out living our life on the weekend, trying to get some of our life back. Y'all know we've been growing our business over the past few years, and so we have taken a lot of time for my daughter that we're trying to give back 110%. So we were able to do that this weekend. So thank you for that. Okay, here's my last little piece of wispy greenery. Hey, you like my shirt? It says cozy instead of, you know, AC/DC. Y'all, the no makeup got everybody over to TikTok now. I'm telling you. Hey, Carrie from Indiana. If you want to make something for a grave, Tamara's asking a question. What kind of glue you would use? I'd still use hot glue. I would use floral foam to create my design in, and hot glue, and that can withstand weather well. So floral foam is the kind of foam, it's not sandy, it's not for water. It looks like this. I buy it in big sheets from Hobby Lobby. You can also get pieces too. They have some at the dollar store in small pieces. You can buy also. Check it out. That is not something we carry on Keleas.com. So you have to get that from a big box store or your local floral supply place. Kimmy said, would it be okay to just chew roses and greenery? Oh, yes, Kimmy. When we added the tulips, we were taking it up a notch. You know? Suzanne, you like that? And it looks really rich with the red? Yes, it does. Okay, I'm putting my last greenery, and I'm going to put this one right here. Kind of popping it in. But we did it. We did it. I am excited to play with all these fun flowers. You know, Valentine's Day is a time you can pull out gorgeous, you know, rich florals, and then you can add in a bit of boho inspiration because we've got the natural look of the wood, and then we've got the beautiful accent of the pampas in a gorgeous floral bush to coordinate. And then we're going to kind of blow your mind because we're going to end up with a little bit of pearlized ribbon. This is a Japani. It has a nice finish, gives it a little sheen. When you get those three elements, the rustic, the natural, and a little bit of pearl, you've got the perfect setting for boho. So come on in, guys. It's Keleas here with Keleas.com, where we teach you the love of floral design. Today we're going to make a boho-inspired Valentine door hanger. Y'all, if you want to know where we are at all times and how to get our latest content, We would love to have you in our class every week or coming and join us on our live videos that we do out here on social media. So text us at 832-734-5201. Text us the word live. And if you don't want to wait for another live, you want to come and join Design School today and get access to the latest 24 classes we've taught, all you got to do is just text us the word K. Oh, what is it? No, it's link. L-I-N-K. Link. So many keywords, y'all. Link. So text us and come on in. All right. For this project, we're going to have a supply list for you, but I'm going to use a bouquet, beautiful pampas grass, a little touch of lamb's ear. That's a beautiful granarita mix. I'll need a little Spanish moss to cover up my mechanics. Then our ribbon, of course, and just a little bit of floral foam. Okay, so that's what we're going to need for the whole thing. So I'm going to pull some of these aside. And what we're going to start on, guys, is we're going to start by making our bow. Now, when we melt the foam on, we're going to kind of put it just right here in the center. Because this has just a jute hanger, you have to kind of get the weight midstream of the heart, and we don't want to cover up all of the hearts. So you have to think about where you're going to put everything. So I know right here in the middle will work great, so I'm going to take my little bit of floral foam, pop it in the glue pot for just a second. I like to use Gorilla Glue. It's a clear Gorilla Glue. Pop a little of that behind it and just swirl a little on. I kind of use that as a backup plan. Hot gluing to wood generally works pretty well. But if your heart's metal or something else, I got to think about how's it going to stick, okay? So I'm going to scrape off a little of that glue, but I got a nice coating of glue. Pop it on, give it a wiggle. And then where that glue is hot around the edges, grab your Spanish moss. We have this on Keleas.com. This is the chartreuse color. One of my favorites. You can use any color, really. We have light green and dark green, but I like this one too. Let's bring it around the edges and a little bit more around this other edge. And we are home free. So what that's done is that has hidden all the mechanics and gave a nice, soft, organic touch to the background, okay? While this is setting up, let's put it aside and grab our ribbon and our bow maker. I use an easy bow maker. If you need the affiliate link for that, just text us the word bow, B-O-W, or I think it might be bows, B-O-W-S, and we'll send you the affiliate link to this. Our text is 832-734-5201, or go to textkeleas.com. Now, our ribbon tails, what we're going to do is I want these tails to be a little bit long, kind of like about 20 inches. So I'm going to measure that out, bring it to the center, twist it, and then let's go at about 5.5. It doesn't need to be too big, guys. Kind of a medium-sized bow. And because we are just using this for that elegant, soft touch, kind of giving it the feminine look that we like from the boho type texture, we're just going to do 2 loops, beautiful long tails. Just cut those straight across. And now let's do 1 more loop to split that up nicely. This one, the tail could be about like 16, 14 inches. And then this one will be 5 inches right here in the middle. Twist, 5 inches here. Scrunch it. And then you've got, basically our recipe is 2 loops, 1 loops, okay? 2 loops, 1 loop. I use cable ties to take these off the bow maker, so that's what we're going to do. Slide a cable tie right underneath, put a finger on top, and just bring that up. Add a little pressure, and then rotate this around to the back. Now, before we go any further, you've got to make it all fluffed up and pretty right now, okay? So separate this all out into its sections. See how pretty that is? Flip it over, and you're going to add a floral pin to the back. So let me grab my floral pins, my little box of floral pins, and we'll just slide that in. And it's a metal U-pin that you use in order to put things into foam really easily. Okay, so that's in. Trim that piece off there. You guys, you will need wire cutters and scissors. That's just something, if you're going to play with flowers, you are going to need more often wire cutters and scissors. All right, now we have our cable tie kind of showing in the middle, and I want to cover that up. So generally, I'm going to use just a little bit of the same ribbon, cut that, and we'll fold this. Woo! Stay on the table, dude. We will fold this into sections and just keep it nice and neat and go right through the center. Make a really pretty center. See how cute that is in the center? I love that. Now I'm going to take and get a knot going there and trim each of these pieces off. Okay? So we got a nice finished bow. So we'll be ready to add that when we get our florals in, okay? So that's probably the most time-consuming part. Now, bring your heart back. It's all set up and ready to go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pampas like I would a greenery almost. And I'm going to do something we teach in design school called set the perimeter. And we're going to do that right now with some of this. Now, less is more with pampas. It quickly can take over your design, and it goes from boho to flaming boho. I mean, like in your face. So just go a little slow, okay? So let's take this beautiful piece and let's use this kind of going off from the bottom down. I'm going to let it just lay out that way. Oh, that's so pretty and soft. Look at that. Okay, now I want to work opposite to that. So I'm going to come up here and work opposite as I come up. Just take another little small piece. And it's up to you how much of this you really want. But I like to set the perimeter with it. Okay. Place that. Oh my gosh. So now you've kind of created your lines. You're going to work from here in. All right. Yeah. And one piece of this is going to do you. I think it'll be nice and soft. But we've got that in the back. Now our next step is to take our bouquet. We chose a bouquet because all the work was done for us. A beautiful collection is already chosen on the bouquet. So take and start to cut that all the way down. We're going to get all these pieces cut off of there. And I will start to take and arrange them right here in the center. Oh, there's a little, this is a little piece of eucalyptus. There's a really cute greenery we can fill in. I got a big white rose here. Gorgeous. And I even have a couple of big leaves. So when I'm cutting these off, I'm making sure I'm leaving some of that stem. You need that in order to place it in to your design. You can't just be like, nope, don't need the stems. You got to keep the stems on, okay? Because that's what gives it some strength. So we've broken that whole thing up. And when you want to do that, I'd identify, you know, what are my larger pieces, what are my smaller pieces. And I know I would like to take a couple of these leaves and just kind of build out my perimeter. Also, I'm going to just take and kind of have them tuck in here behind the pampas. And just kind of be a layer behind, nice and soft. And you notice you'll see me hold that foam just in case it's not totally set up. Add some pressure to that foam while you are putting each piece in. Okay, and I'm going to come behind here and we're going to pop that one in. Okay, so I've got a little leaf behind each of those. And now I'm ready to get to my pretty flower part. So let's start with our two really pretty roses. One's white, one's cream. And take and cut those down a little shorter. And let's use I'm going to have the burgundy one kind of go up. We'll let it come up here. And let's go opposite with the white one. Let it go down. We're just going to let these fill in this area nice and full and beautiful. Now we want to leave a little bow zone. We've got a beautiful bow coming in here in a little bit. So in order to help you remember how large the bow is, just bring it back. Think, okay, I've got space still. I've got space. Don't panic. Cut this down a little shorter also. Let's bring that in here. We want to start using these to fill up. Oh, look how pretty that mauve-y pink is. Oh my God, so pretty. Now you have all these little pieces of the filler flower that came in the bouquet. It's like a little cute, I don't even know what it is, but it's just really cute, like a little berry blooming. Let's utilize that. Now, because I have this burgundy up here, I want to bring the other burgundy to the lower part of the design. So we'll take and cut this, and I will add that a little bit lower down here. Have it kind of come up by the rose. That's really pretty. And this little touch of cream. We definitely can do the same thing. We'll have it work above right here. So I got a beautiful bloom. We know we're going to have our flower in there. We have our little filler flowers. We're going to put those off to the side. I'm going to grab my last piece of the hydrangea, cut that down short, bring it in right here. So the bow is going to just pop right between the pieces of hydrangea. I've got a little bit of eucalyptus and the filler flower. We put those aside. We're going to use those in a minute when we fill in around all of our gorgeous florals we've got going. Now, let's take and break a little more pampas down. And if you want these to have a little longer stems, depending on how much room you need, just pull. And generally, you got to muscle this one. You can just get maybe an inch or two or more long. And that'll help you get a strong stem when you're ready to trim those off. Okay, dudes. Now, I am going to allow the pampas to get just a little bit wider as I work my way up. You guys, the principles you're seeing here today are things I teach in design school. And the whole point of you getting better at designing and placement is so not only can you have beautiful pieces for your house, but you can learn to sell your pieces with us and take your business to the next level. When your work is just that much more pretty, you can't help but get more for it. And you might see me joke around saying, you know, don't shove your florals in, but I'm not really joking. The more time you take on placement, the more people can tell on your work. And guess what? They're willing to pay more because it looks more professional and it sets them apart from their neighbors. Everybody wants beautiful pieces for their home. And if you can make them for them, that is, I mean, that's my dream for you. So you see, I added a little bit more. I got a little bit wider. We're going to take this one piece and I'm going to let it kind of come out from where the bow is going to be in a second. So this is what's called breaking the plane. This dude's going to break the plane of these other florals and just kind of disrupt the whole neatness of it. We're going to make it a little bit exciting. Now it's time for that Lancier we were talking about earlier. And I love this one because it's a great filler. This bush can be pushed up and rotated around to go in here and fill in on this design. So you can see when I'm pushing these, I'm rotating the leaves to make nice, cute clusters. These make the cutest. Oh, this isn't Lancier, it's Dusty Miller, but it's still that pretty touch. Like, Klee, know your flowers, woman. I'm going to trim these all off to a couple inch stems, you guys. And we're going to put that in next. Let's tuck these in. Now, I love teaching my design school students all about the floral design, and I'm so glad you're here being a Bloomerino, watching and learning right along with us. Whether you want to take your business to the next level or you're just starting out and maybe you're just catching the bug of silk flower designing, hey, we're here for you. And if you haven't gotten on that text list yet, grab a spot, 832-734-5201 or textklee.com. Once you're on the list, we'll send you all kinds of information, including when our class is open next. You can grab a spot. Okay, you can see I'm putting a few pieces up top and up bottom, and see how pretty that is filling in. And this is just slightly off center, just slightly off center. So when this hangs on a door, see how gorgeous it's going to be. Bow time! Grab that gorgeous bow you made. We're going to put that right in the middle and straddle it right along the center. Whoa, we're going to need a little dowel rod. Here's my little dowel rod. I like to use a little dowel rod, a little piece of bamboo, chopstick, or anything like that in my glue pot to help me take glue to things like that. It's a lot safer than putting in a glue gun and pumping in glue and burning yourself. The glue pot is easy peasy to work with. Okay, the bow's placed in, it's glued in. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take just a second to work with your tails. I like to kind of weave my tails in instead of having them just all in the front. I like to be the boss of them. Boss these girls around. These little bow ribbon tail girls need some, these girls need a boss. So we're going to let those flow down. We'll let the shorter tails kind of come up, curl around. The little divas that they are. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. It's so pretty, but we're not done yet. The little filler flowers are going to work to your advantage up here. These little guys, we're going to use these around the bow. So cut them till they have a nice little stem you can work with. And we're going to tuck some of these right in between the ribbons. So find the foam. Oh yeah, pop them in. Let them stand up and potty on their own. Potty in the pastel ribbon section. These are so cute. See how cute that is in there? Let's use another one up here. Just cutting these little guys. I'm just cutting them to make them a little shorter. We don't want them shooting out too far. We want them just breaking the planes of that ribbon. Oh, yes. Okay, and then I want a little bit more of the greenery, the Dusty Miller, that I've been calling lamb's ear on and off all video. Y'all know what I mean. Tuck it in here. Fill it in there. Let's go on the other side. Cut that piece off. Look how stinking cute this is. I am in love filling that in. I like the rich colors, the creams, the beautiful touch of the elegance. And then, you know, when we call it boho, that's because we've got this rustic heart behind here. This is gorgeous for Valentine, but you know it also works great for weddings. You could do it with less of the colors if people just want neutrals. That's really trending for weddings also. We've got left this little bit of eucalyptus, and use that to your advantage because this introduces a little bit of this gray green that's in the back. If you take a color from the back of a design and you move it to the front, that is always going to help you give you more of a cohesive look. You can see I'm doing that right here. Bloomerinos, you can make this. I know you can. You can grab the supply list right here. Text us at 832-734-5201 or go to textklee.com. Just send us the word supply. Supply brings you the latest supply lists, and it will bring you this one and any other projects we have done recently where you can grab the supplies right from us. Isn't it cute? I love her. Check the finished pictures out on the supply list. You can see how she turned out hanging on the door. You guys, this right here is the cutest red rose ribbon. We're going to mix that with black for drama. And what we need to do is I want to cut these tails at 20 inches, nice and dramatic. So I'll measure out to 20, and then I'm going to twist that right in my bow maker. While I hold this with my right hand tight, I'm going to make another loop over here, and we're going to go at 6 inches. And I'm going to twist and do 6 inches here on the right. We're going to do 3 loops in the background. This gorgeous pinstripe is one of my favorite ribbons. It's kind of, you know, underappreciated because it's just a simple stripe, but it's so dramatic. If you'll text us at 832-734-5201, if you will text us the word supply, it will send you the supply list for all of the latest projects. So one of the reasons you want to utilize our text list is anytime you're watching our video and you want an answer, you want a link to another video, you need help, instant answers are provided by these words we're giving you. So you don't have to wait for us to get back to you. You know, we're always happy to help you in customer service, but if you do something on the automated system, boom, you're not waiting, and that's instant gratification. So I'm cutting these tails at angles, just nice sweet angles, and then I'm staggering them up. So if this one's 20 inches, this one's like 18. Staggering them up, I'm twisting, and then 6 inches, these are at 5 inches. The next loop's at 5, and then I'm twisting, and we're going to keep doing that on both sides. Now my next layer here is just going to have 2 loops on either side. And we're going to get that nice and fluffy. Make them nice and loopy. But I love how pretty and dramatic that red is in there. I'm going to pull that down and just cut and measure these to where they're about the same length, opposite each other. And what I want to do now is I want to bring a little bit of the black to the top. And we'll do a simple, about a 14-inch tail on here. And make sure you cut that to match. I like all of those matching on the cuts. And let's go in about 5 inches on this loop to finish out. You can see how clean and crisp that black is in there, and that red, just dramatic. Okay, so once our bow is made, we're going to take our cable tie and run it right down the center. Put a finger on top, pull it up, add some pressure, and then just move your bow maker out of the way. You guys, if you need a link for that easy bow maker, just text us. All you got to do is text us BOWS, B-O-W-S, and it will send you the link for the bow maker too. Okay? Fluff this out. And if you don't have, you can go to textklee.com too to access the text list, guys, and get signed up. So you can see I fluffed it out really pretty. You see how the loops, the movement, that's really what you need, okay? It can't be flat. It can't be tight, or you will have not the pretty loops that you're looking for. Get that really tight, trim that tail off. And I'm going to use the red rose ribbon right in the center to kind of finish it off. So I'll take a piece of that, cut about a 8 or 10 inch strip, fold it on itself, and we're going to run that right down the middle. Yes. And that'll give a nice clean look down the center. So pretty, guys. I love that. Easy. So I'm taking a look at the lips and I'm establishing that these are the top, right? So it's facing you the correct direction. And once I know how I'm going to place these on my wreath base, I'm going to see where they're going to connect with the grapevine. That'll tell me where I'm going to be making my attachment points. And you might see this little thing in my hand. This is like an awl. You can also use an ice pick or something pointy. It helps you get through fabric really easy. You might need some scissors also to help you cut a little hole. Okay, so I know I'm going to attach it in these two places. So I'm just going to take and flip it over and make sure you have the front rather than the back of the, the device. You want to be going into the back, okay? So what I'm going to do is just take and make me a little hole here. And a lot of things we use for wreaths are not usually that hard to get through. This is like a felt material, and you can see I'm able to just press right through it. Take your cable tie. I like to use cable ties. And then you're just going to run it right through. So that one's done, okay? We pierced it, baby. You've just been pierced. Sorry. Maybe, it's in trend. We're piercing the edges of the lips now. We're doing something different. We're starting a whole new trend. These piercings are going to be hidden. This is not really very heavy, so it's really easy just to pop those in, and these will hold it in place. So now I'm going to flip it over. I know this is the top of my wreath, and I kind of want this catty corner right here. You guys, if you've never watched us live, we totally want to welcome you. We'd love for you to be on our text list so we can let you know when we have new videos coming out. So no matter where they're posted, you can find them and follow us along. So text us. Our number is 832-734-5201. Text us the word live for live notifications, and text us the word supply for the latest supply list for this wreath right here. This is our big lips kiss wreath, and we are going to be making it all together. So I just wanted to show you how easy it was to attach the lips and rock and roll. So the best way to find out everything we've got going on is head over to Keleas.com, and we'll send you a link directly if you text us, 832-734-5201. We're going to start off with our foundation points, and that's going to be our gorgeous little mini roses here. So I'm going to cut those out of their little cluster. The nice thing is these come all bundled in a pretty little bundle and easy to work with. You guys know we have the whole supply list for you here on Keleas.com. Let me start creating our base. We're using a mini rose bush like this because it's got a filler flower, it's got a greenery, and a little bit of a main flower in these roses. So this is why you want to follow Keleas here, guys, because I'm going to teach you all these tricks to make these things faster and easier on your projects, because I've sold thousands of wreaths myself. I've done craft shows for over 25 years. I've sold thousands of wreaths on Etsy, and now we even sell beautiful wreath making supplies to make this process so much easier for you. And the reason I can help you with that is because I've been there, I've done it, and I love to help you. These are so funky cool that I'm going to hold these for another project because they're fun, but there's some things I could put these in for Easter or spring that would be killer. So I'm going to hold those little berries off. So I'm prepping the second bush. And then we're going to bring up the glue pot here to the table and go ahead and be able to easily attach these. So I'm just pulling off that little bit of, what is this, raffia here. You could save that, but it's a little bit too small to save. And I'm saving these for later, though, because those are so cute. And they would be cute in here, too, but I have bigger plans for those little balls. So we're trimming every stem down to about 2 inches. And I'm using 2 bushes of this for this wreath. If you wanted to make it a little bit not as full, you could downsize to 1 if you wanted. All right. So grab all of those. Let me grab my glue pot and get it back here in position. Glue pot ready to roll. All right. You can see my lips are catty corner. I have hung them that way on purpose. This is the midline of the wreath. So this is the top, that is the bottom. So when we start to accent with these pieces, we are keeping that in mind. Now the other thing you're going to need is a little Spanish moss. Let me grab my buqueta. It's a big bucket. I don't think we should call it a buqueta. It's a bouquet, a biggie. There's our Spanish moss. We're going to use that to hide our mechanics as we go along creating. All right, let's do this. So we're going to start to add a little bit down here. And these are so fun, these mini roses. Let's start to shape it out. We're going to bring a little bit up here. And then anywhere I can see my glue, I've got to cover it with Spanish moss. That is why we use the Spanish moss. Now I'm leaving a little space open in between, and we call that the bow zone because we're going to have a bow. I want you to see how quickly this comes together. This comes together so fast because it is so stinking cute. Yeah. And I love these big old lips. I've had more fun making them kiss the camera. It has been so much fun. On our trip to market, I am going to look for more props like this that I can make do crazy things to the camera. All right. We've got a little bit of spacing down there. We got 2 going to the left, 2 going to the right. Now we're going to come up here to the top and have some fun too, because of course we need to. And then watch that greenery. If it's going the wrong way, I want to take a second to manipulate it and get it going behind. I love that long leaf eucalyptus. So I definitely want to make sure I'm using it. Now up here, I'm tightening up the transition point. That's where things meet. I'm tightening that up because I want it to be more, particularly, we're not going to have a bow up there. It's going to be tighter. Okay, I'm going to take another piece and use it up here because I want to bring this line up just a little higher. So when you put these base materials in, it gives you the opportunity to kind of create the look you're going for. I'm going to hold on to this piece so we can use it in and around the bow. So I'm just going to put that aside. And now we want to grab our beautiful heart picks and use those next. Okay, we really want them to be shining and sparkling in this design. So I'm going to take and tear off the longer piece. And we'll leave the other 2 pieces connected. And we'll cut those right here. Okay, you guys, if you're enjoying this video, you would probably love Design School, where I teach you every week how to design, and I go further in depth where you learn the principles so that you can know how to have proper placement in your pieces you're making. And when you have proper placement and you add more depth and dimension, you're able to get a higher level of a customer when you sell your pieces, if you're a seller. And if you're not a seller, you just get a higher level of design in your own home. Okay, let's bring another pick up here. Oh my gosh. You guys, we are working on a 14-inch wreath base here on this one. I do not know if I added that to the supply list, so make sure you keep that in mind. This is the smaller wreath base. I want the lips to be like the big showy boom, 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 boom. And then the sweet little hearts are going to go at the top also. So basically, if you can see, the cluster at the bottom is larger we're building, and it's repeated at the top, but it's more petite and more delicate. So we'll bring these pieces in to just crisscross up here. Bring those in, separate this one, and we'll bring these in to the opposite direction. Right in here. Come on, baby. Oh gosh, so stinking cute. Let those like kiss in the middle. Separate these out a little. Let them party. Really adorable. Now, before we go any further with the filler flowers or anything else, what we need to do is I would like to go ahead and put in the bow. Okay, because that's going to really define our shape. And then we're going to come in with this filler and make it nice and full and adorable. Now I'm going through the grapevine in the back here so I can get it nice and attached the best I can. And running the cable tie through there. Oh my gosh, so cute! these juicy roses and that black popping against the lip and these cute little gingham. Oh my gosh, did that tie it together so cutely? I love it. And I took and I curled these tails too. You can curl them some more or less, but you can see how whimsical those are. But we're not quite done. It looks really good. It's looking great. But we need some filler. We need the filler to fill in and make it just a little more polished. So what I want you to do is, you're not going to use this whole bush, but I want you to take and just tear off about, I'm going to tear off 2 major stems. Let's go with 3. 3 big stems, and we'll have some more for another project. But there's 3 right there, okay? I like to tear. It's easier on your hands. I know you might have heard me say before, I've had a couple of hand surgeries from overusing and over cutting. So that's why you'll see me tear. I think it's safer. Now, if you start loving using this filler flower, go for it and add in more. It's kind of like a greenery and a filler flower. It's a beautiful combo. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of the bigger pieces, and we're going to use these right in here, and I'm going to tuck it just right next to where my cute little hearts are. Okay, one more on this side. And these function like a twig and a grass, and they just give it that little kick. So pull those knickers up, slide it right under there. Okay, now I'm going to use a 3rd bigger cluster to come right up here and just cross this corner of this lip. So I'm framing out this bow. Isn't that pretty when we put that in there? Oh, look at that. That's so stinking cute. I love it. I love it, guys. Now, let's put a little bit more at the top. So let me grab a couple more pieces. I should have known I'd want a little more, you know. I'm never happy. Oh, we have a storm rolling in. You might hear that. We've got like a rumbler going on. So this time I'm going to layer a little bit more on top of the clusters we have going here. So it kind of covers those hearts just slightly. Let's trim this one down a little. And this is just a sweet little accent point up here. The reason I didn't do a second bow is because I think the first bow is able to just be dramatic down there. Really dramatic and really, really pretty. I love her. So remember, she hangs like this. So this is her top. So that's cascading off, and this is right here. Now, grab the last bit of your beautiful little roses, because we're going to tuck in with these around. I'm going to trim the eucalyptus off and cut these into like 3 little clusters. I'm going to use this little piece in here to go right here at the top. This is all detail work, and you do your detail work at the end so you can make sure you give your piece this finished little look. Tuck those in, make sure they're going the right way. Now a couple little roses in here between the hearts. And then I'm going to want to put a little Spanish moss. I love adding just a little bit of Spanish moss between things, like pumpkins or watermelons or any kind of any balls, anything that's touching in your work. A little Spanish moss gives this little touch between the two. I don't even know what we want to call it, but it's so cute. Take a little bit, take in here, get your hot glue. Don't put the hot glue on the moss, you will burn yourself, okay? I know why, because I've done it before. And then we're going to tuck that right in there. Oh my God, so soft and sweet. Ah, so cute. Okay, I'm going to take the last little bit of roses. And we're going to tuck these in right here to the top of the bow. And let those just kind of come in right there to the top. I got one little bitty piece left. And let's have that come into the bottom. Oh my gosh, Blue Merinos, I hope you have enjoyed making this as much as I have. This is stinking adorable. This big kiss wreath certainly deserves a big kiss from you guys. She is precious. Your hanger goes right here, guys, and this is the top and the bottom. Let those beautiful tails hang down and really be the star of the show. She's a show off for sure. Hearts, Batman, we're getting ready to make a gorgeous bow for our swag that we're putting together, you guys. And if you want faster notification, just text us, 832-734-5685. 5201. Just send us the word live and we'll let you know whenever we're live, and you'll get all the links to all the videos so you never have to search. This is a 20-inch tail, which isn't quite long enough for our swag. I've got my swag here over to the center, and I'm going to measure. And when I measure her, she ends up being 20. So 20 is about to there. She ends up about 30-inch long tail because she's a nice long berry swag. So depending how long of a tail you want on your bow, you have to measure that first. So that's 30 inches. Then I'm going to come out here and I'm going to make these at 6.5, my loops. When I come to the middle, I twist. You guys, I'm using something called an easy bow maker, and it functions as a holder for you to hold your bow right in the middle. And the easiest way for you to grab one of these is we have an affiliate link where you could grab one. And if you will just text us the word bows, we'll send you the link for this. 832-734-5201. 832-734-5201. Send us the word bows, and we'll get you the link for the bow maker, and you can have your very own. Now, both of the tails are going down to 30 inches. Now I'm going to come in, and I want the next one to be a little shorter. So instead of 30, we'll make this one about 20. So I'll have it come down the normal length. This is 20, the length of the bow maker. So I'll bring that in, and I will twist. And now we will go out a little bit shorter at 6 inches. Twist and twist, okay? Now I scrunch when I get back to the center when I don't want another twist, okay? Now take and cut these at opposite angles. And then what I want to do next is add another loop to the center with just a little bit shorter tail, even a little shorter, probably about 16 inches. So cut that at an angle. Because this is a simple swag, we want to be dramatic with the bow. So my recipe is 2 loops, then one more. And the reason we're cutting them is because we want to have another set of tails. The final loop is going to be about 5 inches, and y'all, it is thundering and lightning, so you might hear it rock and roll or even the lights flash. But we're not going to stop our Valentine swag. We're going to be making it together. This is the first part we're doing, is making the bow, and then you can catch the next video where we're making the whole swag together. Okay, I'm going to come in and get that tight. Add some pressure, not too tight, but just tight enough to hold that pressure. Now I want you to flip this back between your fingers, okay? Now it's not pretty yet. You've got to take the time to make it really flashy and pretty. And you're going to watch me fluff each of these out. Isn't that great? When I fluff each section out, I totally love that. And manipulate those tails where they're coming down. See how much volume? Isn't that perfect? Now you want to go ahead and add a cable tie to the back, because that's how you're going to be attaching it to your swag. Oh my gosh, we got to work quick. Alrighty, clip it off, flip it over. Now come down with a little bit of ribbon. I just take a piece and just cut it down the middle here. And then we will just make that about 10 inches. Just a little strip like this. Put this to the side, and what we're going to do is fold it on itself, 2 little folds, and then that can go right through the center, because I like to cover up what's going on in the middle of my bow. Okay, and we got the hearts running right down the center. It worked perfect. 2 knots, if you can get them here in the back. There's 1, and here's 2. And then just trim those tails off, and you are good to go. Simple project for you to knock out today. It is going to be a berry swag. In our store, we carry these gorgeous waterproof berry swags. They're long and elegant, and you know these berries can hold up to the test of time, which is super good when you're talking about different berry quality. It comes on a nice brown stem, so it goes really well with the beautiful neutral and heart bow we made. And you can make this where you could change this out for different seasons if you want to be a little bit more frugal. But these are great. I sold lots of these berry swags to my customers made up too. So let me show you the ideas. We're going to pop in a cute little gingham heart pick. You guys, it's raining, so you might hear some rain and thunder and lightning in the background. But don't fret. We are going to be making this project. So I'm going to place this in, and I just like to kind of tuck it in along the base here. Just tuck it in, and then we're going to have a bow kind of at the top, but the bow is going to be right in here. So push it down a little where this can kind of fill in the empty spots that are in the swag, and then you can kind of just tuck in the berries around it. And once you find a good spot, what I want you to do is just take and put a little cable tie in here, and then you can always come back and cover that with the ribbon and the bow. But I'm going to put one a little lower right here. Or if you have a brown cable tie, you wouldn't even see it at all, okay? So I'm going to tuck that one in, and I'm hoping it'll be somewhat covered. I've also been known to just cut off a berry from kind of in the back and just glue it right on top of there so you cannot see that. The other piece up here, you can take and just rotate this around and make it part of the hanger. And then I'm going to secure that with a cable tie also so that it'll be nice and tight and hold on. So it's like a secondary connection point, and I like doing that as well. So I'm going to do that really tight right here at the base. I'm going to try to make it tight. You have to get it going on the, there it goes. So sometimes it's just easy enough just to attach it right there, and then you've got another part of the hook here to help hold on to somebody's door hanger, okay? And you can hold on to that to make the top part, okay? Now that's easy. That is so easy. It's done. We are going to put the bow on next. So it's big and it's beautiful, and see, it's going to cover up all the cable ties at the top, so no big deal. So I'm going to attach this at the top. Just take and put the pointy end into the little flat end, and then you are going to get a nice tight top finish, and your little hanger might pop up the top, but we're going to fluff it up and hide that in a minute. And my customers sure like it when I make it really easy for them to attach their piece to their door. They like to see a hanger that's easy to kind of put it right over a wreath hanger. Now, take the longest tails we made on the bow, okay? Flip the baby tails up. Take these really super long ones. Those go in the back, okay? So those rotate all the way to the back and go behind. And they pop from behind. That's something I teach in design school, how it's really important that the colors come up from behind. You guys, if you want to get in our class the next time it is open, you're going to want to grab a spot on the wait list. So go to KeleasDesignSchool.com, or you can text us, even easier. Text us at 832-734-5201. Some of you are already on that list. And all you got to do is send me the word link, and it's going to send you the link for Design School. We have those texts set up so it's super easy for you to get in contact with us any time of day you're watching. Okay? It's all automated, and it makes it so easy for you to get the links you need where you're not waiting. So long tails in the back, medium tails in the medium, short in the medium, in the middle, short tails in the front, and then take a minute to fluff out this bow in all its glory. We want to see it shining right here and fluffed out. And that was so fast, guys. Once we had that bow made, this is under 6 minutes to make this whole piece. This whole piece. And how cute is this hanging on your front door or in your Etsy shop, ready to sell? It's ready. And I'm going to go list it in mine right now. So if you need the link to that, just let us know also. This comes with a cute little jute hanger, which is fine, but we're going to take and kind of take it to the next level, make it a little fancier. And I'm going to make a hanger out of ribbon. And I'm going to come in and cut these off so we can put our new hanger just right in where these holes were, okay? And it's important. You could use, actually, you know what might work better than even a floral pin is a regular stick pin that can go into that little hole that you're cutting off. And I'm going to create my own hanger with the two ribbons. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on the roller of my Easy Bow Maker. That's just so they don't go spinning off. And I want the gold to be behind and the black and red to be on the bottom. Oh, sorry, on the top. I was saying that right, and I said it wrong. But layering up like this so it looks pretty from the back and pretty from the front. So in order to do that, you need to put them this way. So it looks, the backs are together, okay? And decide how long you want this on your hanger. Just kind of start taking a look at it. Okay, would that work as the length? I think that would work fine. I want it just a little bit longer because I want to be able to put our We're gonna make it the top, so I'm gonna make this a little bit longer than that. Just trim it off. And let's go ahead and get this put on as our hanger. Now what I want you to do is grab a couple of regular stick pins, and what those are like pins for sewing. But because we just have this little area to go in up here, it's going to make it much easier to pin it in rather than a regular floral pin. I grabbed a couple here that have this little black head, so it will look really kind of cute and finished when we pin the ribbon to the top. I'm going to take my first side here, and I think it'd be cute to have it kind of curl up a little on the edge when we pin it. So let me leave a little extra so I can curl it after. Leave a little bit of a tail, all right? And I'm going to take and pin that right in there. So when it comes up to be the hanger, that's how it's going to look. Now just pinning it in is not going to hold it strong enough. We're going to put a little glue on that. So I'm going to dip it in the glue, and then I'm going to push that right in where the other hole was. And there's foam under there and everything. And you just go right into it. There it goes. Push it down. And it's glued in perfectly, okay? And it looks nice and neat. I got that little tip covered. Now, I'm going to curl that up in a second. But I want you to decide how tall you want this. And I think that would be like a perfect length right here. Oh my gosh, how cute is this already? It's so cute. I think we're going to go right about here with this one. And that will give me a little bit to curl or do something fun with. And if you want those little tails longer, you can definitely do that. All right, so get your other pin, and I'm dipping it in the glue. And we're just going right into that hole with the glue in there and then the pin going in, and boom. Ha-ha! You got it ready. We put the cute little hanger on there, and we definitely made it look finished. Now, what I want you to do is take and dovetail these little edges if you're going to leave them hanging out, or curl them up. You got a couple of options. Or do a little curl like this, or you can curl up the edges, one of the two. So I'm just going to leave them kind of hanging down, I think, actually. It's pretty cute. And we'll just dovetail those. So take and fold them on their side like this. Take and cut from the fold down, and you get that little V-shaped cut there. Let's do that on both sides. And we'll get that finished really, really adorable. I love these simple projects like this because they're fun to make, and then they're just great to put in your Etsy shop for little fillers, and this would make a perfect door hanger for any office or teacher. Now we can leave it just like this, but you know we're not. We're going to make it a little bit fancier. So I'm going to take and make a little bitty loop here at the top, and this is where we're going to attach our greenery and our bow. So I want you to take and just gather this right here and make a little loop, okay? We're going to grab that with a cable tie, and this one's a green cable tie or a wire, whatever you want to do. We're going to put that on here, okay? Step one, make that part of the loop. Now I got to get this where it can't slip off. So you're going to take another cable tie and go right here through the middle, and you're going to create a great little loop hanger where we're going to be able to attach everything in just a little bit. All right, so we're stabilize this nice and tight like that with two cable ties. All right, the hanger's there. She's looking cute. She's ready to hang. Now we need to make this look so cute and make our bow and all of our other fun stuff to go on there. All right, our little pointy hanger is ready to go. Now I want to add a little greenery and a bow. Now we got a great hanger going on so far. We don't want to get too much floral or too much ribbon. We're going to keep it simple and clean. So I'm dovetailing that. I just cut it, fold it up, dovetail it. We're going 8 inches. We're going to go into the middle. All right. And then I want you to do 2 loops here of the gold. Okay. And I'm just going to go out at 5 inches. So twist on either side. Super cute. I love that. And then I want you to bring in the polka dot with the gold polka dot with the red heart, and we're going to put it on the next layer. Okay, take and dovetail that. Look how cute so far. I love this gold in there. The reason we picked out the gold is because there's a gold polka dot in here. See why we needed it? This is why we needed that. That was cute. All right, we're going to work the other direction. I'm going to take and cut it. And then we'll have this one go out the other way. Right there. And let's go in here. Let's just do one. I think one of these is going to work great. In here, we're going to go a little smaller at 4.5. So we got the sparkle with the really cute red with the polka dot gold. Bring that in. And I'm going to dovetail that one too. I love it. Now, let's grab our cable ties and we will take that off our bow maker. I'm not going to worry about covering the center quite yet because we're going to be attaching this to our project, then we'll cover the center. So I just, don't worry about if it's whatever color cable tie is, we're going to be covering it. All right, don't pull it too tight yet. We got to fluff it up. Got to make it look cute. See how this simple bow is exactly what we needed here? This is exactly. We did not need to overdo the bow. Bring your project back over. There's our hanger and our cute little bow we're going to put at the top. Go ahead and add your cable tie to the back here. And then we can pull it really tight. And what I'm doing is I'm adding the cable tie there where I can attach it. Okay, so we can pull that real tight, trim it off. So you do need a couple of cable ties for this and a couple of stick pins. But all the other cute stuff's coming with the kit. All right, this is, oh my gosh, this is so cute. This is gonna end up going right here in a second. The only other thing we're gonna do is add just a touch of greenery to make it a little sweet and special. So grab your boxwood bush. Boxwood is always classic for every holiday. And take it, just push these up, and we're gonna make some clusters. You don't have to really overdo it. So you're gonna cut off some clusters of the boxwood. And I'm gonna take and cut them all. You can kind of keep them long. What we're gonna do is take and cluster them into cute little pieces. Where I'm gonna take a long one, and then I'm gonna make this one short, and you're gonna layer it up. So you get this cute little design where, see how it's a little taller and a little shorter? That's what you want, okay? We're gonna make 2 of these. So I'm gonna scoot this over to the side. We got our components going. So there's that one. I'm laying it down. We're gonna make one more. You can take a long one and layer it with, see how this one's a little bit longer? We'll use it in the back, and we'll layer it with a couple of little shorties here on the sides. And then we'll make this one just a little bit fatter in the middle. So one side's gonna have 3 and one side's gonna have 2. But what I want you to do is crisscross these now. And you see we made like a little cute cluster. All right, it's like a little mini swag. Now grab your cable ties, and we're gonna take the mini swag and cluster it right here in the center. I love this stuff. Guys, if you're not embellishing with boxwood, you need to, because it's stinking cute. Put that on there. Now get it somewhat tight. Leave yourself a little room. We're going to add a cable tie to the back, just like we did our bow. Now, what's a little bit different with the floral, you've got to get it really tight, and we're going to need to add just a little bit of glue back here, because if not, sometimes you can pull out these pieces, and we want to make sure we got control over that. Now, get in here, take off a lot of excess. We don't need such long pieces in there. Just cut that off. All right, you got your cable tie. You're looking good. And I'm going to take and shape these up into our little clusters. Move them around. Make them, you know, stand out a little bit more. Make them fuller. Utilize all your pieces, okay? So you got a little cluster like that. Now, it's time to put all this together. We got the cluster, we got the bow, and we got the hanger. And this is going to be so cute. So I'll take the cluster, and I'm going to go just right here, right down the center. Oh, isn't it adorable? Just put this one right down the center. So go right down the middle of that hanger we already have been working on. And we're going to tighten it right up. This is so cute. So one of the things I teach in design school is construction really matters, and you want things to be very polished and finished if possible. Because then when you do sell your work, it's going to hold up really well and not fall apart. And even though this is just a simple door hanger, it's going to be classy. It's going to be polished. It's not going to be like crafty. You want to make crafty things that hold up and are beautiful. Okay, now, we're not done yet. You ready? It's time to put the bow on. If we put the bow on right here, we still can put a ribbon through the center. And the key with doing the ribbon at the last is we'll be able to hide all the mechanics all the way around. So I'm going to come here and put this in. And then I'm going to go right over the same area I've been working on. That bow's going right up the center. Okay? Nice and tight. Now, cut that little pointy piece off. And what I want you to do is figure out what color ribbon you want to use now. Through the middle. You can use the gold or you can use the black. I think I'm going to try the gold. Since the gold's in the back of the design, let's try to put the gold through the front. So cut this about 10 inches. You could even do it longer, because you don't want to fight just a small little piece. You see how cute this is? This is adorable. So take and fold it on itself so it's a little more narrow. Doesn't need to be super skinny, but kind of like a little squish, little fat piece. And what I want you to do is take that and I want you to run it right through the center of everything here, okay? Go right around this greenery, go through the circle. So I'm going to go through the circle right there. That's the hanger. The whole reason we made that circle is so they can have a nice hanger when they get ready to hang this up. And I'm gonna bring that through the bottom, and look how polished the middle of it is. Come to the back, tie your little knot here. And this is why, another reason I want you to leave it a little longer. We're gonna use this to hide all this stuff back here. Let this sit back here cutesy. Let's curl it up and let this just sit in the back all cutesy and polished. I love that. Curl that up so we can leave that like a little mini bow in the back. Now come back to the front. And the last thing I want to do is just fluff up that center and then just work a little bit on backing up a little of this boxwood to go right there in the middle and keep tight to the center. Rotate that around. And you can let that bow be completely straight or a little cockeyed, whatever you want to do, left or right. Really, we made that pretty fast. And these would be such fun to make with, you know, other family members, to craft together with your grandkiddos or your kids. And what a great gift to give to anyone. We're starting off with our bow first, and we made a big doozy. I need to put the bow where I want my design to start from. It's up to you what you choose for a location for your bow, but I'm gonna go right here, just a little bit down from, if this were 6 o'clock and that's 9 o'clock, just kind of go right in the middle. So I'm gonna take and cable tie this onto my base. I already had that built into the back of my bow, and I'm gonna put it in there tight. And then I'm going to take and just make sure I give it a little twist over and fluff out the loops so I can see where they're going to be. Okay, this is an easy starting point here. And now I want you to come and start to build up the greenery from here, because we want all the greenery to come from the flower and cascade out from that. I'm going to start off with some of these. We have 4 of these that come in this kit. And yes, if you want to grab this kit, just say kit in the comments before. We'll shoot you the link for the latest kit. Now, I'm going to take and separate these into sections. It will separate into 3, but one of them is a little bit smaller, and we don't need any cuts quite that short. So we're going to do a long cut and one short cut. So I'm going to grab my wire cutters, and we're going to do this with every stem. We're going to break them down into sections like this. Okay? I like to teach in design school how, of course, placement and direction and transition, and how to get that clean looking design with your pieces. And that's one of the things we're going to do here. We're going to create those lines. I'm going to go ahead and cut up each stem. So I've got all of these with a longer piece and a shorter piece. I'm going to do that first. All right, when you're all done cutting these pieces up, you're going to have 4 long ones and 4 short ones. We're going to start with those long ones first because we got to set out our perimeter. So I'm going to start up here high. Hi, say hi to the wreath, but we're going way up high. Going up high to start to set my direction. So I'm going to put this in, and it's got a cute little berry and a greenery. I love that I get both for one. Now I'm going to keep working in more towards the center of my bow right here. I'm going to scoot this over. We're going to come down just a little. Have this one come out. Beautiful. I'm going to put a little bit of Spanish moss. Anytime I need to cover up glue or create tension in a space, I'm going to add Spanish moss. Now I'm going to put one more to the center. That one could be a little bit shorter. Doesn't need to have the length of the others. And this one I'm going to pull that bow forward because I want to work like I'm coming right out from the bow. And you know what? I did not cut that little cable tie off earlier. I got so excited. I'm going to pull the nub under the bow so it's hidden. I'm so excited that I didn't cut it. Okay, don't worry if your bow gets a little wonky. We're going to fluff it. This one's going to work to the inside. I'm also kind of paying attention to where my berries are on these stems because I don't want to use all the berries just in one area. I want to have good separation in them. Kind of to bring that white berry throughout the piece because it works like our filler flower and it really fills in. All right, now I'm going to come below and we're going to do similar type thing. I'm going to push that bow out of my way. I'm going to take a long one. Put the long one in first. And we're going to have that kind of come way out here at the bottom. So when I talk about, you know, we're creating a line, I'm kind of creating a line of how I want my eye to go through this design and flow down. So you think about how long you want that to be. Now I'm going to take these two longer, one of the longer pieces and come out here on the left side over here. Kind of I want to make it feel like it's coming out of the bow. And we're going to work on some more pieces coming more directly out of the bow, but we just have to set our perimeter first here. Okay? And one more to the inside. Shake hands with it. Shake hands. Hello, nice to meet ya. Shake hands means I'm fluffing out a pick, guys. If you've never heard me say that, that means I'm just fluffing it out. You want to buy really nice quality florals that have wire in them. You want to stay away from discount stores and really inexpensive pieces, because a lot of times they're not going to hold up for the long run, and you spend a lot of time prepping them. So do you want to spend hours making it, or you want to spend hours enjoying it? I want to get it made pretty and made to last. Okay, my 6 pieces of greenery are in to start. Look at the pretty lines we've got. Isn't it gorgeous? That's where we are right now. All right, next step. We want to grab and make our heart picks. We're going to make these ourselves out of some curly spiral picks. When these picks come, they come like this with 3 curls on them. And I'm going to take and cut them to where they all have a good amount of wire. And we're going to turn them into their own little hearts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these, and then I'm going to come and make them come together and make that sweet little heart. And we're going to take and attach them to their main stem. This is the stem that was left. And then I'm going to put that in the middle. And once we get that all cute and tied together, we'll have our own little heart. I'm going to take a cable tie to secure that first. And I just do that because I'm adding such a large stem to the bottom here. Get it nice and tight. Right here. And then you want to grab some floral tape. And floral tape is a tape that kind of sticks to itself. I love that I can make fat hearts, or I can make tall, skinny hearts. You could do whatever you want. So cute. I'm going to grab the floral tape and we're going to trim off that little green piece. Now get the floral tape. And this is where you kind of neaten it up and you make it look polished and finished and hold the stem in there tight. So hold on a second. When I get this all tightly taped, go round and round and round. And we won't cut the longer stem till we get ready to put it in our wreath, because we don't know exactly how long we want that to be. I'm going to go down and roll back up. So I want to try to make it look neat and clean. And if it tears, it's okay. Just stretch it, put it back on. We'll cover up the tear. I'm going to go over that little cable tie mount. See? Round and round. When you're happy with it, you're like, I feel like that is good and nice and secure. Then I can take and manipulate this heart to whatever shape I want it to be. Isn't that super duper cute? Don't you love it? I love it. Okay, so we're gonna make 3 of these hearts for this piece. And like I said, before you cut this, let's decide how high we want them. So I've already made a couple more. We've got 3. And I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna put one, I think right here, one here, and then the third one, we'll kind of use it upside down and come into this zone down at the bottom. So let's take this one, and I'm gonna use it, it's got a nice long stem, so I think I might use it right in here, kind of coming straight from the bow area. So I'm gonna give that a swirl in my glue. I'm going in my hot glue. I'm gonna come down here and pop it. Ooh, that's cute already, I love it. Let me get it down just a little bit more if possible. Yes. Okay, and you can fluff those back up. I'm in love already. I love this. It's so cute. Okay, now let's go back off to the right with another one. So let me make sure my tape's on here good, because I see the tape kind of needs a little loving. I'm going to trim it a little bit shorter. Once I know where I'm going to go with it, then trim it. Just leave those stems long until that moment, because then you don't have to spend a lot of extra time building up the base. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Isn't that precious? We've got 2 hearts in so far. This look is super cute. Now let's bring a heart to the bottom. I'm just going to move her up a little bit so you can see really good where the heart's going to come to the bottom here. I'm going to use it upside down. I think it's precious upside down anyway. I'm going to come in right in here and have this one come for the bottom. So when you see all 3 together, that's what you're going to see. And that'd be perfect. I'm going to get it loaded with glue on my stem. Move your ribbon kind of out of the way. This is why we generally, I don't put the bow on to the end, but in this case, the bow is really our focal point of the design. So I needed to make sure all of these hearts were gonna pop out of there at the right length. Okay, she's looking adorable. Now, let's fluff out the bow for a second so we can kind of see her full potential. I'm gonna bring these really long tails to the background of the design. I like that because they don't need to be in the foreground. Okay, let's bring it here. Look at how cute. All right, great. We've got this left, greenery, and then we have this magical fishtail fern. Fishtail fern, if you've never worked with fishtail before, you really want to get you some. It's exclusive to Keleas.com, And I have this made special for us. The neat thing about that is it's wispy and it adds this really great dimension to your pieces. So make sure you play with it sometime. If you grab this kit, it's a great time for you to experiment with it and see what I'm talking about. It's kind of essential for spring because of that great movement it gives your work. So we're gonna use that first, and then we're gonna hold on to these to use in just a second. So we wanna take these, and I wanna push them down a little bit. So when you actually say push them down, I'm pulling up the greenery to make them a little bit shorter. And in turn, it makes the bush a little thicker. I love, love, love that. Okay, see here? Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm gonna take and trim these off to about 1 inch each. So we get this nice length on the stem, just like that. Now I'm gonna start putting these in. We're gonna start right from the bow and build out from there. So I'm gonna come in right here, and we're starting to put this between the loops, baby, because I want to feel the wispiness. Let's put 2 at the top. I'll put that one on the left, and let's come in on the right with this one. We'll put this one right here. This baby's adorable. And I like to do what we call break the plane in design school, is we want to have some dimension created by layering not only colors, but also when we layer in our beautiful greenery. So we've got 2 there. I'm going to use 2 down here, coming towards the front. Coming to the front. Let's go right here. I want to go right above these florals to kind of lay in between the layers of the bow right there. There's already a floral here. Now let's go on this other side. Let's go on this side, and I'm going to bring that one up a little bit. And I love how this piece layers up together so pretty. That dimension is really the way you're going to get a higher value for your pieces. All right, we did great there. Now I want a little bit more tight to the bow, a little bit more. So I'm going to take one of these, and we're going to do this little magical pull a little bit more. The key is don't pull it all off the stem, but you can see how we make this sweet little cluster. That sweet little cluster looks like $1,000,000 coming right out of the bottom of the bow right here. I'm going to glue it in and make sure it's going into the grapevine, and then give it a little bit. Oh, can you see how cute it is? Yes, that makes me happy right there. That little touch. We've done really good with the wispiness over here. We need a little bit up higher to kind of extend into that heart, the second heart. So let's do that really quick. Y'all, this is adorable. And I can't wait to see you make your own. You've got to grab the kit from Keleas.com. The nice thing about kitting kits for any season is it just keeps the supplies to a minimum. You can experiment with it. You can see, do I like this floral designing? Am I enjoying making it? You don't have a huge expense and a bunch of supplies piled up in a room, but you have what you need to complete a project. Once you do that and you play with it, if you like it, you can explore some more kits. And then if you like it more, you can come join us in class. And we break down each project step by step and make it just really easy for you to learn how to create like this every day. And you know, the fun and joy and the peace and the relaxation you get from doing floral design is truly lovely. And it's, I call it my happy place when I get in here and get to create. All right, last steps. Blue Merinos, we're gonna take and add the white and the green. We wanna have that kind of work in now with to the bow also. We wanna get that really wispy look. We're doing pretty good, top and bottom, but now we need some help left and right. So these stems can break into a couple of pieces like this. Okay, so if possible, we want to try to use it like that, a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to take and break them down. Now, because these are wired, nice premium stem, I'm going to be able to take and just twist that around. And that's going to make its own little bush, all right? If you were using something cheaper in plastic, you wouldn't be able to do that. But I love that we have the wires in ours. You know, we try to get them wired tip to tip if possible, because that gives you all that depth and dimension. All right, these are gonna go in left and right. We just talked about that. So let's take this one and we're gonna use it over to the right here. So I'm gonna pull up a layer of the bow, kind of make some room in between where I'm coming out, and we're gonna pop that in. And you see that's gonna come between those layers. Now I'll put one more down here, coming this way. Come on. Let's get this one in too. Right in here, spread those little loopies out. We're gonna go right in here. And it doesn't have to necessarily go exactly there. You can use the wires to manipulate it where you want it to be. There we go. You see what I'm saying? Big difference in this side of the bow than in this side of the bow. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there in just a second. We're gonna get this side looking like this side. Oh, y'all. You guys are gonna be making premium wreaths that are adorable, that are not like anybody else's, because I'm gonna make sure we stay different. We're gonna stay different and we're gonna stay on trend, but we're gonna have fun and be different without being too crazy. Because I want you to be able to sell your work also. And classical pieces always sell. And yep. And this is adorable. And pink is still trending, guys. If you didn't know, pink is still super trendy for all the seasons. Even the color of the year is more corally, but still, let's just call it a corally pink, you know? Let's call it that. Okay, I'm gonna put my last piece in. Twist those around so you get a nice little cluster. And then you do need to trim these wild wires at the bottom, otherwise you'll just get so frustrated trying to put it all in there. Trim them off. Make a nice, neat, clean cut. I'm gonna come up above here. Look how pretty. Oops, I just yanked it off my hook, but I'm gonna take and layer that in between. Now your very last step is, and if you are selling your pieces on Etsy, your very, very last step will be to fluff that bow before you get those final pictures to list it. Because when you're gonna list your work on Etsy, you gotta make sure that you're giving it the best picture you can, okay? If you're making this for yourself, you make it, you get it put on your door, fluff that bow up, and then she is ready to go. I hope you had fun making this with me, and come and join us to make it again. Let's spread the love. All right, Bloomerinos, I will see you next time. Go ahead.